Megyn Kelly absolutely rips the hilariously biased ABC moderators to shreds after they make a complete fool of themselves during the Trump-Kamala Harris presidential face-off. Guys, this is going to be a lot of fun. I think you're going to like it. Megyn Kelly, as I'm sure you all know, is a very fiery and punchy kind of lady, so to speak. And interestingly enough, she actually has historically been pretty anti-Trump. She doesn't like him. She made that very clear, especially back in 2015 during the GOP primary when she questioned Donald Trump on some past things he said or allegedly done during the debates. So if anybody is a fair judge on who is being biased towards Donald Trump, Megyn Kelly is certainly it. So we're going to get into it. It's going to be a lot of fun, guys. But first, everybody, help me out here. Like our video, share it around, and if you're new, subscribe to the Resist the Mainstream YouTube channel so we can keep bringing you guys this great content. As always, everybody, I'm your host, Arian. Let's get into it.
I'm disgusted. I'm ashamed of those moderators at ABC News. They did exactly what their bosses wanted them to do. The person who runs ABC News is a close personal friend of Kamala Harris, that is responsible for Kamala Harris and her husband meeting. And they did Dana Walden's bidding tonight. It was 3 against 1 on that debate stage this evening. Hi, everyone. I'm Megyn Kelly, a special program tonight for you reacting to the debate. It was 3 against 1. It's very easy to look like you know what you're doing when both moderators are entirely on your side. Trump did the best he could under the circumstances, but it really was like 3 fighters in the ring pummeling one opponent. And Trump tried to take them all on. He did fine. He did as best as he could. He was thrown a few times to the point where he was unnecessarily defensive and he was getting angry. And so was I. Were you? This was a mistake to trust ABC News with this debate. The Republicans must learn from this mistake. The same way the Democrats never agree to do anything with moderators they don't entirely trust. This should be the last time the Republicans ever do this. Because those 2 moderators tried to sink Donald Trump tonight.
But will the GOP learn from it or the Trump campaign? Honestly, I doubt it. And it seems that no matter what happens, people just don't learn time and time again. I saw so many conservative political commentators, both during and after the debate, posting and whining on Twitter about how biased ABC and the media is. Don't get me wrong, I agree. The media sucks and it's horribly biased. Duh. But that's the point. Duh. Are we really going to sit here and act surprised about it? I see people posting, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. I can't believe how biased and horribly rude and terrible the people at ABC are. Really? You can't believe it? Because I can. But seriously, sometimes I want to ask people in the Republican Party, especially on Republican campaigns, people in politics, people who should know better, were you born yesterday? How have you not figured out that they are always going to treat you badly? And by the way, this is not going to be popular to say it, but I'm just going to go ahead and say it. The way the Trump campaign handled this was terrible. All right, so let's backtrack a little bit here. First, we had a Biden-Trump debate that was set to happen on ABC. Soon after, Biden drops out, basically gets forced out by his own party. They put Kamala Harris up there. Right after that, the Kamala Harris campaign said, hey, we can't wait for the upcoming debate with Trump and ABC. And then the Trump campaign said, oh, wait, hold on a second. No, we don't agree with that. The original terms were that we were debating Biden, not you. We want something different. Let's do it on Fox News. The Kamala Harris campaign comes back and says, nope, we're not doing it on Fox. Not going to happen. And then later on, the Trump campaign just says, okay, fine. We'll do it on ABC. Seriously? As far as I'm concerned, the Trump campaign let Kamala Harris play them like a fiddle. And that's insane to me. So will the GOP learn from this and never let it happen again? I mean, I sure hope so, but somehow I really doubt it.
The numerous fact checks on what he said and none on what she said. None. I don't remember a single fact check of anything she said, and she lied repeatedly. She just got away with it. In the moderator's eyes, that was Donald Trump's job to fact check her. That's correct. Except you didn't employ that same tactic when it came to Trump. And you accused him of lying even when it was your opinion that he lied. When Trump tried to say that his comment that he lost 2020 by a whisker was him being sarcastic, David Muir actually injected saying, I didn't hear sarcasm. Who gives a shit what you heard? Who died and left you, political analyst in chief? You're supposed to be the objective news anchor of World News Tonight. That's a comment you make to your significant other, David. Not on the debate stage. It didn't sound like that to me. Shut up. That is inappropriate. It's not for you to make that call. Leave it up to Kamala Harris. Leave it up to people like me who will play the soundbite and let the audience decide. But you were out of line, and they did it to him over and over and over again. And the worst piece of all of this is the obvious tactic by ABC News, which was as follows. Mr. Trump, you said something incredibly controversial and terrible. Let me remind you of what it was. Do you have any regrets or thoughts on how terrible you were? Trump answers. Vice President Harris, how bad is Trump? And then she'd answer. It happened over and over again.
It goes without saying that the ABC moderators essentially made it their mission to run cover for Kamala Harris, paint her as a good person and Donald Trump as a horrible person who we're not going to name right now because of YouTube terms of service. Thankfully, Trump did get some zingers in that made Kamala Harris look bad, especially when the topic of abortion was brought up. And Trump said, well, what do you think about ending the life of a baby at 7 months, 8 months, 9 months? And Kamala Harris just sat there squirming and just looking kind of dumb. That was great. Some more things I wish you hit her on. How about the fact that she supports sex changes on children? That is insane and demonic, and conservatives ought to make that a running point of their campaigns, frankly. Yet we're going to sit here and pretend like we're somehow bad people or that we have to defend ourselves? It's insane, and it makes no sense at all.
That was the format. Mr. Trump, you're a piece of shit. Kamala Harris, isn't he a shit? Thank you. It was incredible.
Exactly.
And then anything Trump said, fact check, fact check, fact check. And their fact checks were full of shit. I'm swearing even more than normal right now because I'm mad. I'm angry. I'm angry at them, at ABC, at my industry that I want nothing to do with. And I've never been happier to be outside and be able to say how I truly feel. And yes, even with some colorful words, because that's what the situation calls for. They're trying to steal this election.
Based
They're
Megyn Kelly.
openly working to sink him. I think it was so bad, their bias against him and toward her, that it's going to backfire. I actually think the American public is going to see through.
Disagree. I'm sorry, Megyn, you're cool, but I think you're just wrong. A lot of the American people, unfortunately, a large portion of them, they just don't think for themselves. That's the reality. And I say that as a patriotic man who loves America and thinks that this country is full of good people. So do not get me wrong or please misattribute my words here, please. And the reality of the matter is, a lot of the American people just don't think for themselves, namely about probably at least half the country. They simply look at the media, look at their friends, think about how they feel, and then they make a decision based on that. There's no logic or rationale in any of it. That's just the tough reality. And unfortunately, that's going to harm Trump a lot, but we already knew that. It's not like this is some kind of new revelation.
Through this, and there's probably going to be some empathy for Trump. No fair-minded person could think anything other than that they were in the tank for him, and it was 3 against 1 on that stage tonight.
I sure hope Megyn Kelly is right. And one thing is correct. No fair-minded person would look at that and say, okay, Kamala Harris won and there's no bias at all. But guess what? A lot of people aren't fair-minded. I'm just saying, don't shoot the messenger, just stating reality. With that being said, guys, we really hope you enjoyed the video and thank you so much for tuning in. As always, everybody, please comment below. Let us know what you liked about the video, what kind of content you want to see in the future, and we'll see you again soon. Thanks, and God bless.